So if there was one thing I'd say to everybody, if I had a chance to talk to everybody in this world right now, like a message that everyone hears, is the phrase that no one's coming to save you. And a lot of people do not realize this. And once you hit that realization that, everyone has their own life, no one's gonna try and like make your life better, I guess. You gotta start realizing that no one's gonna come and save you. In this video, I have some key points listed as to why or like how you should change if you don't like have this perspective yet, or let's say like I'm gonna try to convince you like, oh, what you should do instead. So let's just go straight to number. Let's just go straight to number one. Number one is like no matter who you are, nobody's gonna try and save you. Even if you're like some king or some prince, no one's gonna try and save you. And if they do, it's up to you to save yourself. People could give advice all day, all night. Like me, I could give advice all day to the right person or to anybody, but it's up to them to take the advice. I'm not saying all my advice is correct, but I'm not saying all my advice is wrong either. But everyone has different advices, and it's up to that person that you tell that advice to or that you listen from if they actually take that advice. So no matter what I tell anybody, like, oh, if you start this, like, oh, pay off your debt or a credit card, blah blah blah. It's I could tell them everything right, and they could still do completely wrong because they don't want to save themselves. And it's a harsh truth in this, I guess, in this world. A lot of people like playing victims, or like they like being okay with. They're okay with not being okay. They don't ever try to do anything about it. They're like, oh, I drowned in credit card debt and I'm not gonna pay it off because why not? And that's point number one. Realizing that no matter who you are, no one's gonna come and save you. You gotta save yourself. Other people can try and give you advice, but it's up to you to take it yourself. So number two, it all of these points really correlate. But number two is just realizing that it's your life. You gotta take control of your life, and you gotta stop, I guess, just cruising through life or playing so passive and letting things happen. Or so like let's say like you're gonna wait for the right moment to do whatever. Like, oh, once I get a better paying job, I'm gonna start saving, stuff like that. And I want you to know that you should not do that. If you want to take control, you should take it right now. You gotta stop living life on like cruise mode or easy mode because being comfortable is what kills growth. And I truly believe this. In order to grow, you need to be uncomfortable and you need to go through things that you never went through before. And I'm sure a lot of people will give this advice out, but if you're way too comfortable at where you are, chances are you're not gonna grow as a person. And this applies with just everything in general, like your hobbies, your job, your career, even just small stuff like how you write. You could always become a better writer, or you could always become a better typist. And you gotta start realizing that you gotta start taking control of your own life. Like back in my teenage years, I used to just live life on cruise mode. Like, oh, why is everything bad happening to me? I used to be a negative person, and until I don't know exactly when that moment of realization hit, but I realized one random day, one random night, I'm sure I was tired of everything happening in my life. I was always being such a Debbie Downer, and I started thinking to myself like, I gotta take control of my life. I don't want to live this life forever. So that's when I really started changing as a person and started, I guess you would say, chasing my goals or achieving something better, not being okay with being comfortable where I am because life just started. Like even at 20 years old, I would still consider myself young, and I'm still just starting life. So that's point number two. Is just it's your life. You got to take control of your own life. You got to stop living on easy mode. Stop being so comfortable with where you are. Try to explore new things, and you got to stop trying to time everything. You gotta stop trying to wait for the right moment. Like, oh, if I get a better job, I'll be able to save, like I said earlier. Or like, oh, once I get my right equipment, I'll be able to get YouTube videos posted. But you can record on your phone, guys. I believe technology has advanced so much that even like an iPhone camera or Android camera, Samsung, any camera, it's way better than not posting at all. Like, it doesn't matter what you post. chances are if you're gonna post on YouTube or if you're gonna be a social media influencer, a phone is just fine for you. You don't need that brand new camera, mirrorless camera that costs like $10,000. You don't need that $30,000 lens. So that's number two, guys. Straight to number three is that you you have to make your own state. You have to make your statement in this world. There's billions and billions of people in this world, and I'm sure majority of us, even me, like we will make statements, but it won't be loud just because there's billions and billions of people in the world. But you want people around you to notice, like, oh, this guy does this, like, oh, he's actually like a man of his word, or a person that doesn't like lie, I guess. Like you would want to be known more as someone that actually stands out instead of just always being in the crowd. And I understand that being in the crowd can be like easy to live or more comfortable to live because no one has your eyes on you. I'm not saying people have eyes on me, but I'm gonna make my statement in this world, and that's just how it is. I don't really know what else to say about this point except that you have to make your own statement in this world. No one's gonna wait for you to like. No one's gonna wait for you to grow up, or like no one's gonna wait for you to do what you want to do. You gotta do it yourself. Like in 20 years from now, let's just say I never started posting YouTube. Like I was a person that was gonna wait for the right moment. Chances are I'm never gonna blow up. I'm never gonna succeed as a person. I'll probably just be working the same job for years and years, decades and decades until I retire, and that's when I can start enjoying life after retirement. But even after like, let's see like how the economy is right now, I'm not even sure I'll be able to retire at 65, even if I worked like a 9 to 5 job, just contributing to my 401k, Roth IRA, etc. So enough yapping. You have to make a statement in this world. And number four is responsibility may be hard, but it gives you control. And what I mean by that is whenever you take responsibility for something, like, oh, I'm lazy, I'm gonna start working out, or oh, my health isn't the best, so I'm gonna start dieting, I'm gonna start eating healthier food, like natural food, like vegetables, strawberries, yada yada. And getting control of your life is what really matters in life. You can't live life expecting that you won't be in charge of your own life. And it's hard to explain, but what I'm trying to say is just being more responsible gives you more control of your life. If you're okay with just letting people walk over you or just listening to what everybody else says, chances are you're not really like I guess like a lead person. Like whenever you look at a role model, they're always independent or stuff like that. Responsibility gives control, and I understand responsibility is hard, but getting control of your own life is the best feeling in the world. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and you actually go ahead and do it. That's considered discipline, guys. Discipline always beats motivation, and motivation for me is just a feeling that doesn't last. It just lingers around. Like, oh wow, this is nice, but what actually keeps me going is discipline. Being disciplined, guys, is I guess the best trait, or one of the best traits you can have as a person. And granted, I don't have the best discipline when it comes to stuff like going to the gym and yada yada, but you know, I don't try to live off just motivation. But anyways, enough of that. That's point four. Responsibility gives control, guys. Number five is, as I said earlier, I'm sure I said something about like being a victim. And number five is just you gotta stop being fine with being the victim, and you gotta like actually do something about it. A lot as you grow up, I'm sure people around you or family, friends, acquaintances, teachers, stuff like that, they always talk about how shitty their lives are, or like how they can't do anything in their life anymore, and how it feels like a failure, how they feel like a failure, and things like that. But I believe what makes a person a failure is whenever they don't try. And even if you're in a bad situation, you get to try, and that makes you better than average. So we all know like that one person, or we all know a friend or a buddy that just complains about work all day, like, oh, this work is blah blah blah, oh, I don't like my coworker, stuff like that. They're letting it take control of themselves, and they're not doing something about it. And as my previous point, responsibility is hard, but you can take control. It takes control of your life. Like, you will have more control of your life if you are more responsible. That's like That's like, I guess it correlates. I'm not sure how to word it, but responsibility equals discipline equals yada yada. But whenever I try to offer advice to those people who just complain all day, you gotta realize, like, they just like complaining. That's what they pretty much live for. They don't want to do better in life. They just are comfortable with complaining so much. You can try to give them advice as much as you want, but they won't take upon it because they're so comfortable in being where they at. Even if it's such a bad situation, that they don't see themselves like ever coming out of it, because that's just who they are. They accept themselves as this form of, I guess, this personality of just hatred, or just always talking about, like, for example, let's say like one of my friends hate his job. I'm trying to tell him, like, dude, you don't even work like a good job anyways. No offense, but let's say, like, oh, you work at warehouse, like, dude, you could just get another job just like that. Like, warehouse jobs aren't that hard to get. You could get better paying jobs just like that. And then instead of being like, yeah, I probably should get another job, like, oh, like, I don't like my work environment, I should probably get another job. Like, maybe it doesn't have to be in warehouse. Maybe it could be in, like, retail or fast food. Granted, those don't pay as well as warehouse, but some do. And instead of being that, they're like, oh no, but my job's blah blah blah, or like, oh, I don't want to find another job. And uh, it's like, why even tell me about this stuff if you're not willing to change? Like, they want someone to listen, and they don't want someone to give advice. I'm sure they know how bad of a situation they're in, but they don't really do anything about it. And that's what differs a good person, I guess. That's what differs a person with discipline and a person with no motivation or discipline at all. But enough yapping at this point, guys. Let's go straight to the next one. The last one, is just realizing that growing as a person, it should give you discomfort. And what I mean by that is exploring new things, like starting a new hobby, starting a new job, getting a new career, even just for me, just picking up this camera and just start talking. I get this. I'm not comfortable at all. Like, granted, I'm better now, but back in my older videos, I know it's only been like 2 months, but I've gotten better at talking to the camera straight in the face. I don't always try to look around, but if I do, I apologize. But what I'm trying to say is, you need to be not comfortable in order to grow. If you're comfortable doing something at the first try, maybe that's good for you. But generally speaking, majority of people in this world need to be, or they feel not at comfort whenever they're trying something new. And that's just a natural human instinct or a natural human reaction. Like, let's just say, like, tomorrow I start skydiving, which is absolutely crazy to me. I do want to skydive, but it's like trying something brand new that you never had, like, I guess you never had any experience in. It's gonna be a shocking factor, or it's gonna be something like, you're not comfortable with this right now. And that's how I believe, like, that's how you should be as a person. Like, you should be, I guess, you should be, like, always striving or thriving to learn. You shouldn't be so comfortable all the time. And that's all the points I have for today's video, guys. If you guys actually watched this video so far, thank you guys. Hit that like button and subscribe and comment anything. I'm really grateful for all my viewers, and thank you guys.